Well, guys, appreciate you guys taking time on a Thursday to come through. Guys have had a good week of practice, and that was like we talked about earlier in the week is we got to focus on us getting better from week 1 to week 2. And it's about our process, all 3 phases, and then even more than all 3 phases, our individual players learning from game 1, the things they did well, let's build on that. The things they didn't do well, why? How can you fix it? Because football is a game that is black and white. Everything has answers as long as you put the work in to go get those things done. Everybody wants to win the big game. Oregon's been a game that's been talked about here for months. Is our team willing to do the little things every single day to earn the right to go get a shot and to go win this game? And when you come to Boise State, expectations through the roof. This place has been built on decades of guys that are blue collar, outwork people. So when you go into these games, you have a chance to go win. And I'm proud of our team. They've had a really good week so far. We still got to finish it tomorrow with our last practice before we fly out. But I love this team, man. They don't run from hard work. They embrace it. They love each other. There's a high standard here that's player-led, that if something's not going right in the field, it's usually a player that's going to grab somebody first and say, hey, like, that's not us. Come on. And that's showing, and that's a testament to our kids. So we just got to keep pushing forward. But we focus on us this week. It's about us growing from week 1 to week 2. We know how talented Oregon. We know how well coached they are, and they are going to play their best on Saturday. And we're working our tail off to make sure we do too.
What are your specific priorities of growing from week 1 to week 2?
Mm-hmm. So all 3 phases have different specifics. Not going to get into all those, Mike, exactly, but for me, it's all about exactly your point. What exactly we want to grow them from week 1 to week 2. And maybe something we did well in week 1, it's still something that we want to improve on. So one of the things offensively is operation. I thought our operation was pretty good. What is the difference in this game is going to be even louder in Eugene. We're, all these different things. So each game is a new week, new team. And I think that's such a big part of it is every week your team is a new team. Whatever happened on Saturday, good, bad, indifferent, your team's going to feel a certain type of way. And so as a coach, the messaging and how we make sure our guys understand how we're going to grow from that. So all 3 phases have 2 to 3 things that's like, hey, this is exactly what we got to focus on. Obviously, individual positions will have certain other things that they got to make sure they grow in to win their one-on-one battle. But I wanted to be very focused on our guys to say, hey, it's not about putting a Superman cape on. It's not about, well, I got to do all this different mojo things because I'm playing this great opponent. Focus on getting better. Focus on getting better. And some I'm going to talk about with our team tomorrow that I haven't talked to them about yet is, hey, your best is enough, but your best is required. Something that John Wooden talked to his team a lot about. I'm going to talk to our team about that tomorrow because that's what I believe in. That's football. Your best is enough. I don't need anybody to be someone that they're not. But be your best, but it is required in everything you do. No different than for our coaches.
When you look at film of Dylan Gabriel, just how much better is he today than he was when you faced him in 2021?
I thought he was dang good in 21 too. No, you talk about a guy that is an absolute matchup nightmare. I mean, all the stuff he's getting publicity preseason and now Heisman, he deserves it. I mean, he's a guy that can make all the throws. And what shows up a ton on film too is if it's not there, and I live this myself, is he can take out and go the distance. It's not take off and maybe you get a first down. It's an explosive run. He's also got a master of the offense. You can just see his leadership. I like to watch interviews of quarterbacks that were playing and getting to know him. I mean, he's a leader. I mean, you see the stuff that he's doing for his team, the humility that he has with that unit, the leadership he has. So not only is he a big-time quarterback with a monster arm and can run, he's the firepower that offense has to continue to be efficient. And I know that, we're going to see their absolute best on Saturday night. I know Dylan Gabriel is going to be at his best. I know those coaches, and they're going to get this team ready to roll, and so will we.
Dan Lanning, you said you had a lot of respect for him. You guys are both under 40 years old, kind of young, and kind of a new type of intensity, I think, in college football. He's intense. I've seen you. You're intense. Would you say it's different type of intensity or the same kind of you and Dan Lanning?
Yeah, I don't know him super well personally. I think to be able to speak to that, I have to know him a little more. But I know he's intense. I know he does a great job motivating his teams. I watch a lot of the stuff he talks about, aligned in a lot of certain ways that he talks to his team and the motivation he brings. But I think the world of who he is as a coach. You see the amount of guys that they lost to the NFL. That's a testament to who they recruited, that they developed, and then them able to go to either the portal or from the freshmen they recruited to be able to revamp this OD and special teams. That's a testament to him and his staff. And then being able to mold them all together to be the team that they want to be this season. I think extremely highly of Dan Lanning. And especially when you look at all 3 phases, not just defense, which he's obviously an ex-defensive coordinator. They are sound. They're not just out there running around because they're talented. They are sound. They are smart. They do not beat themselves. I think that's a testament to Coach Lanning and his staff.
As you're learning to be a head coach, what are you learning in terms of the pros and cons of being an intense coach?
Yeah, I think just like anything, it's my consistency. I'm just such a firm believer as a leader, your team will go as you go. if I'm too high with the high, too low with the lows, like that, then our team's going to be a roller coaster. For me, that's what I'm intense all the time. High energy, positive, glass half full, like let's go to work, go climb the mountain, go be on the attack. And that's what I am every single day to these kids. So they know exactly what I'm getting. And I just believe you got one life to live. I tell our players this, like, guys, I don't know if when I drive home tonight, someone's going to run a red light. I don't know. Nobody does. And I know that's kind of a little grim, but it's the truth. And I believe that. Like, everything you do, man, you have to give your best because that's the only way you don't live with regrets. And so with that, but it's also making sure how to be consistent comes from me. How to be consistent with our team comes from our staff, modeling that every day. No different when things don't go good on the field. Are we going to get, the world's ending? No, but there's also there's stuff that needs to get fixed. So it's a very fine line that I have to, not saying I do a perfect job all the time, Mike, but I gotta model what it is because it's staying consistent. And when something goes wrong, I'm going to be intense to fix it. No different when something goes right, I'm going to be intense to praise it. And how do we do that again?
The defense obviously has gotten a lot of talk this week
Yeah.
for some of the struggles. How have they been this week? How have they practiced? And how much better do they need to be on Saturday?
Yeah, I think Coach Chins and our D staff did a really good job this week. And even like I said, guys, watching the game, it's not play calls. And this game, I think it's easy to go there. Obviously, there's always schematic attacks and schematic issues that as coaches, that is our job to make sure we put our players in great spots. But so much of it is just being consistent and getting off the field on third down. I mean, we looked at this as a staff. I mean, 6 of the 9 third downs that we lost all came late in drives, right? 6 of the explosives all came late in drives. So you look at it, so our team is playing well early, give up a third down, then the explosives are coming, right? So much of it is teaching our guys to know, hey, just because something goes wrong, you don't get off the field on third down. We need to get off the field on third down, but what's happening is we lost third down, and then what's happening after that, we're giving an explosive play. And so you're letting 1 negative turn into 2. And so we're very intentional with our players. Hey, guys, this is what happened. And even looking at the third downs, I mean, that is where the game is won and lost. Our defense played over 90 snaps. Why? Because we didn't get off the field on third down. Why were we tired towards the end of the game? Which, once again, is on us. Didn't get off the field on third down. And so we have to. I mean, the offense we're going to see this weekend, if you don't get off the third down, we're going to lose the game. I mean, that's the reality of it. That's the reality of what it is as a defense. And our D staff did a phenomenal job fine-tuning it, meeting with our players, knowing exactly, okay, if we need you in this certain leverage in this call, that is a non-negotiable. That is a non-negotiable. Play 8 of the drive, you're tired, it does not matter. I need you in this leverage because this is what the defense is counting on you to do because we got a great group of guys. But there was a lack of execution in the most critical moments. Can't happen.
Probably one of the most hostile crowds you guys will face this season. How are the guys embracing that, this atmosphere where they're going to be yelled at, they're going to be cursed at, how excited are they to go into that?
Oh, I mean, they're fired up. Once again, guys, I mean, these guys have been talked to about this game for 8 months, 9 months. So they're very aware of what this thing is. And obviously, majority of our kids are West Coast type kids. They've grown up watching Oregon. This is an awesome opportunity for our players to play in a huge game against a Big Ten opponent. It's going to be top 10. I mean, this is why you come to Boise State, to give yourself an opportunity to play in these games. For me, it's going to be the big part for me is when we're in practice, let's make sure that stress is high. That's why we have the crowd noise high at practice. I want to be very urgent in everything we do at practice so that you get used to living in that stressful world. That's just how you live. That's how you operate. So that when you get into a game where the stakes are through the roof, it's nothing new to you. You're ready to operate because you could also let this emotion and this high intensity turn into anxiety and stress, which then turns you into not play your best football. I want our guys to cut it loose. I want our guys to go play fast. Attack success, do not fear failure. Attack success, do not fear failure, but that is trained.
I was going to ask you, you like to keep your guys, on their toes or whatnot. How much is the smoke and stuff keeping you guys on your toes right now?
Yeah.
I know you had a few practices planned outside this week, and assuming that was last minute stuff where you had to shift it inside. Does it help also with how much noise you can pipe into the indoor? I don't know.
It's about the same, Jay, but our guys, we work through everything to make sure they can respond. And no different for us, me driving in this morning, looking out and being like, oh, we're definitely going to be inside today. It smells like I'm having a campfire right by my house. Like, this is what it is. And so our guys just got to be ready to respond. I mean, it's one of those things like, at first, being power time, at first going into the season, you wanted a home game earlier than it is, but now it may be, worked out in its favor because I don't know how much of this we could even play in if we truly had a game. So our guys respond well. We move to the indoor when we need to, and we'll handle business.
All right, thank you.
And guys, just so you